Have you ever felt intimidated or afraid to try something new because you just might not be good at it? Well, today's video is for you. We're talking about how to be a beginner and engage your humility and let go of your ego. Just play just for the fun of it, not to be the best in the world at it, not to win all the awards for it, just to try it, to see if you even like it. And if you like it, then you can worry about getting better at it. So, I'm always telling you guys to try something that might not work and that is really the key to being an artist. Well, today I am going to try to play with abstract florals. And I typically never do florals or anything that looks remotely representational. So, this is me being a beginner for all its glory and all of its tragedy and all of its whatever it is. I had a blast. And I hope this encourages you to try things that might not work just for the fun of trying it. So, fellow abstract artist extraordinaire Kelly Wynn posted a video on her YouTube channel, I will link in the description, in which she painted some abstract florals. And I watched it, I loved it, it was very enjoyable. And I noticed that she uses all the colors in her particular color palette for that video that I typically use. So it was like a pyrrole red light, a turquoise of some sort, I'm using phthalo turquoise, and Hansa yellow medium, I believe she used. So for this take that I'm doing, I used phthalo turquoise, pyrrole red, regular, just pyrrole red, and Hansa yellow light. That's my typical three that I like to use. And I mixed up some of the greens just by using the turquoise and the yellow to make this background. This is a great way to use up any older paintings that you have, or if you've ever made a giant painting and then cut it up into pieces, this is a great way to use up those pieces. Don't paint over anything that's totally precious at all, or do paint over the precious things, because that will make them less precious. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. Don't need to do that today, no pressure. For this, I used that black abstract piece instead of a plain piece of white paper for a couple of reasons. One, it gives more interest than just having white, even though I painted the whole thing green. Seems weird, I understand, but there's still some things that come through from behind that do make it a little bit more interesting, and it doesn't feel quite as flat. As I'm mixing up this kind of peachy orange color, it's just yellow, the pyrrole red, and some white. I had a lot of fun. Like these shapes right here, I kind of wish I had stopped here. I love the organicness of these shapes, especially that upper right hand corner and the lower left. I loved those. Now when I'm adding a lighter color, all right, still fine, still pretty loose. The longer I do this, I feel like the tighter that I got. However, it's all good. Now, for me, doing anything that's representational, especially on video, feels like pressure. I'm intending for this to look somewhat like abstract florals. So there's a goal, there's something that I'm supposed to be going towards. And I did manage to stay out of my head for the majority of this painting session. I really like these loose marks that kind of hint at flowers, but could also be a million other things. Mixing these colors on my palette, look at the rainbow. It's just gorgeous to look at the palette. And I'll show you at the very end what I did with the palette at the end, which was really fun. Why I felt like I needed to keep going over these, I don't know. I need someone to stand next to my desk and say, walk away, stop now, stop now. But again, this is a very beginner thing for me because I typically don't ever do florals. So I'm just making a mess trying to see what works. And the best way to see what works is to push it too far. So knowing what I know now, after I've made the thing, I might stop a layer sooner on those flowers and let them just be for a while. But again, I don't know. I'm just going for it. And that's really all we have, right? I'm a self-trained artist. Or self-taught artist. I've had art classes in the past, but I've never studied art per se. So everything I do, I kind of just wing it and see what happens. And I really think that experimentation and playfulness is what helps me learn the best. And I don't think I'm alone in this. So you do not need to go have someone spell every single thing out for you to learn how to do something like this. That's why we have these YouTube tutorials. That's why artists do this. Kelly wanted to share her love of painting florals and did a little exercise. That caused me to say, I bet I could do that. I wonder how I could do that. Let's try. So that's pretty cool. And I bet there's hundreds of other people who have watched her video and thought that was pretty cool too. And I'm sure there are people who watched other videos of mine and been like, maybe I could try that. And that's the whole point. That's why we do this. We're not trying to gatekeep art. We're trying to share art and make it approachable and make it something that you feel like you can do because you can. Please be a beginner. If you've never tried painting, doing any of these projects, you've just watched them from afar and wished that you could, please try them someday. Try them today. It's Sunday, at least when I'm first posting this. It's Sunday. Enjoy your day. Grab some paint, grab some crayons, grab some anything, and just play. If you're feeling like you aren't sure what to do in making up your own shapes, grab one of those adult coloring books. Grab a kid's coloring book. Just color it in. I suspect if you're watching my video, you are more interested in generating your own ideas and mixing your own colors and making your own individual, authentic, unique art. Great. Even better. Grab some paints and make a mess. There's no prize awarded to the cleanest piece of art. There's no prize awarded to the cleanest art room or the cleanest kitchen table. I know many people think that there should be, and I'm so glad there isn't, because I would never win that. This is not rocket science, and I'm not saying that I'm doing this well, even. My goal here is to make some different shapes with some different colors. This little purple here kind of reminded me of some grape hyacinth. And even when I'm putting it down, I can't really remember what shape they are, each individual little thing. So I'm just smacking a paintbrush on this paper. And see, look, messing it up, getting things too close together, smearing things around. Oh well, keep going. It's just paint. I notice with my kids also, they will try something for 5 minutes or see something that someone else is doing and they'll say, well, I can't do that. And I'll say, well, you could do this. You just need to, if you'd like to do this, let's practice it. Because anything worth doing takes practice. For some reason, art is excluded from that in many of our minds, where we should either just know how to make art, otherwise we can't learn it. But if we did that when we were learning how to drive, no one would drive, because we would have said when we're 15, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do the mirrors and the pedals and everything else at the same time. So I guess I just can't drive. Okay, well, you learned how to drive. You learned how to do math. You learned how to do all these things. Art is no different. It really isn't. Right? Do you need to be Mario Andretti when you're driving? Or can you just drive to get where you're going? You don't need to be the best artist in the world to enjoy art. If you did, none of us would enjoy art, and I really enjoy art. So enjoy yourself. Take a day. Take an hour. Take 15 minutes. If you've been admiring it from afar, or you like doing it, but you're embarrassed because you feel like you don't do it well enough, please take today and be a beginner. Just do it for the sake of doing it. Try not to evaluate it. Try not to evaluate yourself. There's so much more to creating than creating anything that looks like anything else. It doesn't have to look like flowers. These are just blobs. They're only flower-like because I told you they were flower-like. See how much power you've given me? And it's just because I'm painting things online. So I'm no different than you. Maybe I've painted for more hours than you. Okay. So start painting, catch up. I don't mean that in a condescending way at all. Truly. Come join me. It's fun over here. Paint some blobs. Mix some colors. When those colors don't turn out, mix some different colors. When the blobs look weird, paint over them. Look at this yellow blob. This is nothing. It takes a lot of courage to be a beginner. So I'm not downplaying that. But I will encourage you to do it anyway. You don't need to show anybody. You can just go in your room, close the door if you have a door that closes around your art supplies, and just paint. If you hate it, cut it up and use it for a collage. Cut it up, paste it all down in different order. I bet things will turn out cooler than you expect. And I bet, regardless of that, you will have a blast. So let yourself go. Let yourself try something new that you might not be good at right out of the gate. And just play. So I will show you where this ended up after I've overworked it to a great extent. And then I made some adjustments after this video ended as well to make it a little bit more jacky. I did add a little bit of fluorescent red. It was really fun to try something new. Thank you for watching me. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to practice trying new things, please try my grid journal guide, Grid Journaling Made Easy. I will link it here and in the description. It's a great place to try things that might not work and see what happens. A few final touches on these yellow flowers that I invented. I'm just putting some colors down and giving them the illusion of flowers, which is really fun. But this was the most fun thing that I did. At the end of my time, because I loved my palette colors, I just slapped some paper on my palette to soak up all the extra colors and spread it around with my color shaper. So much fun. Instant collage paper. Amazing. So this is how it ended up. And then I added a few more things, added some whites, some deeper purples, and a little bit of fluorescent red. So what is something that you would be willing to risk being a beginner to learn how to do? Tell me in the comments. And then what's one step you can do today to get closer to doing just that? See you next time.